I have a beautiful loan for you. I want to talk to you about a $500,000 no doc business loan from Fundomate. You have a FICO score minimum of 535 and 24-hour funding. How do you get approved for such a beautiful loan? Stick around till the end of today's conversation. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee, or tea, or vodka, and let's roll. In today's convo, I want to speak to you about how to get approved for a $500,000 no doc business loan from Fundomate. The FICO score minimum is 535, and you get your money within 24 hours. The first step is you need to familiarize yourself with Fundomate. What is Fundomate? When we speak about Fundomate, first of all, I love their name, Fundomate. They are an alternative lender. And basically, you can get up to $500,000 with them, as low as 5% of your credit card processing for as long as 14 months, and you can apply in 5 minutes, okay? It's very simple, and it works fantastically. You just need to fill out a quick and easy online application. They will find the best possible offer for you in minutes, okay? And you'll receive your funds in your account in actually under 24 hours. Think about that. It's just fantastic, okay? And they have three types of business funding solutions. So they have revenue-based business funding, they have flex business financing, and they have a line of credit alternative. And they also have something called the Fundomate Partners, if you are interested in that. So this is where they work with lending partners, and this is built for dynamic and scalable organizations. So it is a premier automated small business funding platform that is specifically built for point-of-sale systems, credit card processors, CRMs, small banks and credit unions, ISOs and acquirers, and that platform allows those partners to focus on their core business while they are helping while Fundomate is actually helping them match their merchants with the best possible small business funding options. So you don't have to you're not in that. If you listen to this show, you're not in that category. You are a borrower, but we just wanted to plug that in for those ISOs and partner organizations who might be interested in that. And one thing I want to say is that after evaluating Fundomate on tens of criteria, including loan variety, loan generosity, the cost, the reputation, and the customer service, we assigned the company a score of 9/10. And you can see also on Trustpilot that our rating was corroborated by 418 reviews that in aggregate gave Fundomate a score of 4.9/5. Step number 2, you want to explore Fundomate business loans. As I told you earlier, with Fundomate, you have a trifecta of loans, right? So you have revenue-based business funding, you have flex business funding, and you have a line of credit alternative. Those three elements are so important that I want to take some time. I want to take a few seconds to go through them. So first, we have the revenue-based business funding. So here, what happens here is that you are basically giving them a copy of your financial statements, especially your income statement, and they look at how much money you're pulling in how much revenue you're pulling in every month, okay? And they love when you have electronic sales, okay? It has to be credit card sales or debit card sales, not cash sales. And they look at that for the last 3 months, sometimes for the last 6 months. And big decision time here, big decision time. How do you actually qualify? You've got to be in business for at least 3 months, and you must be depositing a minimum of $10,000 per month. That's all. 3 months operational history at least, and depositing a minimum of $10,000. The FICO score minimum is 535. I said that before, okay? Then you have the flex business financing. This is another business program they have there. So with this you have the flexibility of early payoff at any point in time, okay? So this is great because it gives you the cash you need, It allows you actually to get the cash real quick. You have high approval rate. You have competitive rates. This is fantastic. And to qualify, you must be in business for at least 18 months, and you must be depositing a minimum of $10,000 per month. And then you have the third funding program. You have the line of credit alternative. And if you want to think about it, this is just a line of credit. So you can access up to $500,000, and you can use the full amount for the entire funding term without any repayment towards the principal. This is really great, actually. And but this line of credit alternative is designed for highly qualified merchants. Okay, and so how do you actually qualify? If you have been in business for at least 18 months and are depositing a minimum of $50,000, $50,000 per month, you are already pre-qualified for this line of credit alternatives. Okay, and you can use the money for, there's no restriction. You can use the money for whatever you want. Now the thing here is that Fundomate actually wants to make sure their customers are sticking to the rules. In other words, they actually are making sure they're putting the money into income multiplying activities, not just in any kind of activity. All right, it's very important. So we're talking here about purchasing inventory. Those are income multiplying activities, right? You have a payroll financing, equipment financing, you have marketing campaign funding, business expansion capital. Step number 3, folks. Again, I'm speaking to you today about how to get approved for a $500,000 no doc business loan from Fundomate, FICO 535 minimum, and 24-hour funding. Step number 1, you want to familiarize yourself with Fundomate. Step number 2, you want to explore Fundomate business loans. Step number 3, you want to get your act together. Very important when we speak about getting your act together. Of course, this business loan is a no-doc business loan, but you got to have a foundation. Simply because this is a no-doc business loan doesn't mean that you can just be a sole proprietorship and qualify for this loan. No, you gotta incorporate. You have to incorporate. You have to have an LLC, an LP, an S corp, or C corp. Doesn't matter, but you cannot be a sole proprietorship. Even if you are a single person business, you can be a single member LLC. Very easy. And you got to have your EIN. The EIN, you get it from the IRS. You go to their website, you get it. It takes 5 minutes. You got to prepare your business plan, right? You want to talk about because a business plan is really a recap of where your business was, where it is right now, and where you intend the business to go in the future. You want to have your licenses and permits. Even though Fundomate they're not really concerned about those, it's always good to have, because you never know how your loan processing will go. Maybe they might ask for it. Usually they don't, but you just never know. So you want to have the licenses and permits that are required in the kind of business you're in. You want to set up your accounting, because Fundomate might want to look at your usually they ask for bank statements, but they might want to look at your accounting statements, your financial statements rather, right from your accounting software. So if you have QuickBooks Online, they might want to look into the QuickBooks Online themselves. Okay. You also want to think about your articles of organization and articles of incorporation. Think about your business plan. This is important also. I have a quick question for you. Big decision time in terms of licenses and permits. Are you in an industry that is heavily regulated? For example, are you, I don't know, but do you deal with an industry that is regulated at the federal level or at the state level? Are you? Okay, if you are, then you want to make sure that you pay attention to licenses and permits, because we've seen in the past few years and months that Fundomate pays attention to that a lot, because there are some industries that are heavily regulated and they kind of look at it from a risk spectrum analysis, and they're thinking, you know what, this is too risky. But unless you can prove to them that you actually qualify and that you are legit and that you have all the compliance processes in place, you might not get the loan that you need. So you need to do that, okay? Step number 4, folks, you need to understand the requirements of a no-doc business loan from Fundomate. Very important. What are the requirements? Now, first of all, you have to understand that with Fundomate, when they talk about no-doc business loans, they talk about different types of business loans. There are actually 3 types of no-document loans. So when you hear the term no-doc loan, it also means no documents, okay? A no-doc loan, as the name implies, offers business owners the ability to secure funds quickly without the hassle of large amounts of paperwork. Okay, in some cases, you only need to fill out an online application, as we have in the case of Fundomate. So there are three types. So you have the true no documentation loans. Here, you just fill out the application and you allow your lender, in this case Fundomate, to review your credit eligibility. Then voila, you have the answer to your loan right away. Then you have the low documentation loans. So with the Fundomate, those type of loans will require you to produce bank statements or merchant processing documents, okay? But in most circumstances, they will not require financial statements. And then you also have the Fundomate stated income loans, okay? And what is unique about this loan option is that while lenders such as the Fundomate will request documents stating your business income, you will not be asked to provide any paperwork like bank statements that prove this, okay? So this is something you need to think about. So the three types of no-doc funding programs at Fundomate, as I said earlier, you have the revenue-based business funding. This is kind of similar to the true no-doc loans or low-doc loans. You also have the flex business financing. Okay, remember what I told you, right? For the revenue-based business funding, you need to be in business for at least 3 months and must be depositing a minimum of $10,000. For the flex business financing, you need to be in business for at least 18 months and are depositing a minimum of $10,000 per month. For the line of credit alternative, you must have been in business for at least 18 months and must be depositing a minimum of $50,000 per month. Okay, so with Fundomate, you just need your financial statements or bank statements for up to 18 months, depending on the loan. Or you want to simply connect your accounting software to their system or give them access to your software. The easiest part is to prepare financial statements over the last 18 months. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation today about getting approved for a $500,000 no-doc business loan from Fundomate. FICO score minimum 535, and you get your cash within 24 hours. And step number 5, you need to talk to a Fundomate rep. This is so important because obviously, you can apply online, you can put your info online, but if you speak to someone, you have more information. So we're showing you on the screen the contact page for Fundomate, and you can actually call them. They are located in El Segundo, California. Beautiful city of El Segundo. Shout out to my folks out there. And so you can call them at 1-855-739-8883. Again, the number is 855-739-8883. And they are actually based on 300 Continental Boulevard, Suite 410. And or you can just email info@fundomate.com. So you got to ask a few questions. First of all, you got to ask yourself before you talk to a Fundomate rep. Make sure that you answer a few questions. You answer a few questions yourself. What do you need the extra capital for? How much money are you looking for, really? How does your credit profile look like? I know that Fundomate has you need to have a minimum of 535 in terms of credit score, but you want to have an idea of where you stand for real, like not just having an idea. You want to have a clear idea of your credit score and how quickly do you need the funds. So those are the kind of questions you need to prepare, because when you have a conversation with Fundomate, you want to answer those questions. And there are a few questions you need to ask the Fundomate rep when you speak to him or her. First thing is, do you lend to businesses in my industry? This is a big decision time, folks. Very important, big decision time. You need to ask that question. Ask them point blank. Do you lend to industry? Do you lend to companies in my industry? Because if not, why are you wasting your time with them, right? Move on to the next lender. You want to ask also what the interest rates and the total cost will be, what your payment schedule will be, when your first payment will be, how do you make the periodic payments, right? How long will the loan application process take? Because this is important. You want to ask about their reputation. And if push comes to shove, you know what? Ask to speak to a few of their current and past customers. That way you have a clear idea of where you stand. Because sometimes you can read reviews online, you can listen to shows like this, but it's just better for you to have a first-hand experience about a lender's reputation, right? And also ask Fundomate if they report your payment history to the appropriate business credit bureaus. Step number 6, folks, negotiate. It's very important. I mean, at the end of the day here, it's so important. I mean, Fundomate, they have their own APR, right? But guess what? So do you, right? I mean, you're not a lender. Don't get me wrong. You're not a lender, but what's important here is that you're trying to put things on the table. So if Fundomate comes to you and say, you know what, you have asked for $500,000, so we think that we can qualify you for 250. So we'll give you $250,000, and we'll charge you 12%, and you will have to repay us over, let's say, 5 years. Well, you can say, too expensive. So what you do is you come back to Fundomate with a counter proposal, like a loan counter proposal. You can say, you know what, you said 250. I want to take 150. So I'm ready to borrow 150,000 from you guys at the 7% APR over 3 years. The funny thing is, a lot of borrowers, they don't know. It's so funny. They have no idea they can actually negotiate. A lot of times they're just so happy to get the cash. They don't care about actually reading all the terms, to read the fine prints, to read the fees and negotiate. With Fundomate and with all lenders for that matter, you can negotiate. And you want to show but you can't just go ahead and negotiate with no backup, right? You got to have some analytical backup. You need to possess, you need to have done the work beforehand with a solid business plan. You need to have your financial statements. You need to have your like other loan offers from competitors, for example, because you would have shopped around and gotten lower rates from other lenders. You want to show Fundomate that your company will bring more business to them in the future. It's all about solidifying your negotiation tactics. It's all about putting forward the best image you can about your business, okay? And remember that there are several parts of a business loan with Fundomate that you can negotiate. You can negotiate the interest rates. You can negotiate the prepayment terms when applicable. You can negotiate the repayment terms when applicable. You can negotiate personal guarantees if they apply to you. And one thing I want to say here is that it's important to understand everything that Fundomate is telling you so that you are making the right decision. Okay? If you don't understand, take some time. But you want to prepare first. You want to prepare and get ready. Very important. Step number 7, folks. You need to apply. So you have done all the work. Now it's time to apply. It's important to apply, and there are several ways you can apply. But in our analysis, it's better to apply online. Now, big decision time. Are you interested in this loan? Are you interested in the loan from Fundomate? Okay. How do you apply? If you're interested, if the answer is yes, and I can't see you, right? But I can imagine you are interested. How do you qualify? Now, to qualify, you must have a personal FICO credit score of over 35. I've already said that. But there are 3 programs, and for each program, you have to make sure that you actually meet the requirements. So we have the, as I said before, you have the revenue-based funding, right? Your business must be in operation for at least 3 months, and you must be depositing a minimum of $10,000 per month. That's gross revenue. Then you have the flex business financing. The business must be in operation for at least 18 months and must be depositing a minimum of $10,000 per month. And for the line of credit alternative, the business must be in operation for at least 18 months and must be depositing a minimum of $50,000 per month. Okay, did you hear that? Okay, so those are the requirements per program. Okay, now let's talk about how do you actually apply. You can see on the screen here that Fundomate wants to talk to you. They don't want you to fill a form to spend too much time. They want you to just, so you can see on the screen here that they want you just to put your name, the name of the company, your name, your email, your phone number, how much money you're making per month, and how much you are requesting. So once you put that, you just hit apply now, and they will contact you, or you can contact them. You see their numbers there on the screen. You can see it's 424-344-9452. Okay, they just want to have a conversation with you. Okay, and one thing you need to understand here is that applying will not affect your credit score. That's it. Okay, when you hit the apply now, they will not do a hard pull or a soft pull. Not at all. Someone will get back to you. They might ask for more information. They might ask questions about your financials, your business licenses and permits, your business plans, all that kind of stuff. When they get back to you, please do not ghost them. You want to reply to their email or to their call as soon as possible. All right, folks. This was it for today's conversation. I was speaking to you about a $500,000 no documentation business loan from Fundomate, and I was explaining to you how to get approved with a FICO score of 535 minimum, and so you can get your money within 24 hours. Step number 1, you want to really familiarize yourself with Fundomate. Step number 2, you want to explore Fundomate business loans. Step number 3, you want to get your act together. Number 4, you want to understand their requirements. Number 5, you want to talk to a Fundomate rep. Number 6, you want to negotiate. And number 7, you want to apply. I will speak to you another time. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.